Amazing things can happen when great minds come together. Doctors from the University of Minnesota and Hennepin County Medical Center and researchers from Abbott Diagnostics just announced they're launching a joint study on concussions and traumatic brain injury.
Need to understand what's actually wrong and how do we treat it. And that's really what the goal of this study is to figure out what's actually wrong and how do we treat it.
Dr. Uzma Samadani is a neurosurgeon at HCMC, known nationally for her research on brain injuries.
There's so many different things that could go wrong that it really behooves us as clinicians to be able to figure out as early as possible what exactly is wrong so that we can identify how we treat it.
She says eye tracking may detect injury in the brain that's not visible in a CT scan. The study will look at how patients perform on eye tests that use a high-frequency camera to map out the positions of the pupils as they watch a video.
When someone has a brain injury, when someone has something wrong in the brain, it affects the eye movements in particular ways.
A second part of the study will involve blood tests.
So the goal of this study is to look at markers in the blood that indicate which cell types are damaged in the brain.
She says MRIs can also tell us more about the brain.
And that MRI scan will be used to look for subtle changes that you don't necessarily see on CT, but that are pathognomic for brain injury.
With nearly 2 million people sent to emergency rooms each year with traumatic brain injuries, Dr. Samadani says doctors need to fine-tune their work and the tools available to them.
We're in our infancy on concussion treatment. We are actually in our infancy on concussion diagnosis as well.
Our researchers plan to screen about 9,000 trauma patients, but only 1,000 will be enrolled in the study, and that includes children and adults. These people will be followed for up to a year, making this one of the most comprehensive brain injury studies in the nation, Frank.
Thanks, Angela.